Thank you, Connor.
If Jeremy has more energy, people will watch.
Who said that? Woohoo! Ball python! Ball python!
Ball python!
Ball python!
I'm shipping out this ball python.
Dude, that ball python's leaving?
Can you imagine
I'm
that?
kind of sad it's leaving because it's not going to be here anymore.
Going to a new home.
But it's going to a new home. It's a ball python.
Ball python.
Yeah. So I'm super excited because this is a clutch of Axanthics. These are nerd line Axanthic animals. So right here, meh, not so much, not that great. These are not visual Axanthics, so they have all this xanthophore bleeding through all this yellow pigment. So they're cool, but they're not that great. What we really want to see are these drab, gray, silver, and black snakes. These are really, really important because when they're adults, they're still gray and drab, but they're freaking insane.
Hey, get down here close to the table.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
You want a lesson really quick, Donny?
Yeah?
We're gonna break down Latin for you, okay? We're gonna break it down. Okay, so Axanthic.
Okay.
Literally means
what?
The lacking of xanthophore or yellow pigment. So in some cases, we might get a little bit of bleed through like this Axanthic bumblebee. So we can see just a smidge of xanthophore. So essentially, this gene failed. No, what I'm saying is basically sometimes Axanthic means not 100% going away, but is mostly reduced. So as this animal ages, that little bit of xanthophore is actually gonna go away. But
where's your energy?
sorry, I need more. Woo! More energy.
Yeah!
Things. Woo! This little asshole right here.
Oh.
This is a pastel Axanthic. We don't want him to bite his siblings, so we're gonna just keep him isolated by himself. So this is really cool because these silvers that look like doo-doo because it's in shed right now are actually going to pop really, really well. But here's what's really awesome. So pastel is an incomplete dominant. So when you layer the other pastel on top of it, you get a super pastel. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! What? Super! Yeah! How awesome is that? So then you throw spider and Axanthic in here and you get this Axanthic bumblebee. This thing is gonna be insane. I would love to run down the hall right now.
You should.
Get the Axanthic killer bee that we have, but I don't have that much energy and I'm not willing to waste it right now. So while we're here, just trust me, this is gonna be a cool silver snake. And guess what?
What?
Anybody who wants Axanthic stuff, most of these are girls, so they're not for sale. This is really cool.
That was the best.
I really like them.
Dude, all of our videos are gonna be like that from now on.
Yeah.
Woo! Woo! Oh, God.
Asshole right here.
Oh.
This is a pastel Axanthic. We don't want him to bite his siblings, so we're gonna just keep him isolated by himself. So this is really cool because these silvers that look like doo-doo because it's in shed right now are actually going to pop really, really well. But here's what's really awesome. So pastel is an incomplete dominant. So when you layer the other pastel on top of it, you get a super pastel. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! What? Super! Yeah! How awesome is that? So then you throw spider and Axanthic in here and you get this Axanthic bumblebee. This thing is gonna be insane. I would love to run down the hall right now.
You should.
Get the Axanthic killer bee that we have, but I don't have that much energy and I'm not willing to waste it right now. So while we're here, just trust me, this is gonna be a cool silver snake. And guess what?
What?
Anybody who wants Axanthic stuff, most of these are girls, so they're not for sale. This is really cool.
That was the best.
I really like them.
Dude, all of our videos are gonna be like that from now on.
Yeah.
Woo! Woo! Oh, God.
All right, so we're looking at some ball pythons. So if you don't know this whole kind of get up here, so when ball pythons hatch, we put them in very shallow water for about that first week that they're alive, and basically we want them to stay super hydrated so they can go through their first sheds without any issues. So we keep them just like this, and once they go through their first shed, then I come through and set them up, put them in their own individual enclosures, label them, sex them, and then after they eat, they go up on the website. So we've got some really cool clutches here, and some of them have actually gone through their sheds, so they're going to be getting set up today or tomorrow. And yeah, so we're going to just kind of dive right in here. I want to show off these guys first. So this is actually Hidden Gene Woma special ODM stuff. So this thing is actually really cool, but we can, are you ready to understand how all this happens?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this to me is the kind of the cream of the crop here. So this is like Odium Inferno special. And you just get look at those sides. That's the really striking part about this animal.
Ever get any fungus issues keeping them in water like that?
Nope.
This is just temporary.
Yeah, they're literally in here for about a week, and then a week to 10 days, and then they're out. And we maintain that water, so of course they certainly do use the bathroom and stuff in there, so we make sure we're checking that every day and cleaning that out.
And a lot of times when you see these in our containers, guys, this is like, for the video, we transport them out here so it's easier. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And we're kind of going backwards here, so we're kind of breaking all this down. So here's a Hidden Gene Woma Granite Yellow Belly. So there's no Pastel in there. Ooh. All right, so now we're going to remove the Hidden Gene Woma. We have like a Pastel Fader Granite. And we've got another. This was a twin that, was this the twin clutch or was this from a boob egg?
A boob egg?
A boob egg.
What's a boob egg?
Boob egg is an egg that has like an underdeveloped part. Looks like it's got like a nipple to it.
Interesting.
Yeah, we call them boob eggs. So we've got like Pastel, Fader, Granite. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then we take out Pastel, but we throw in Hidden Gene Woma Granite.
So what does the Hidden Gene Woma do?
Okay, so Hidden Gene Woma, we're looking at the overall pattern of the animal and color. So we get a lot more of this weird banding, with these flames on the side.
Okay.
And then that head, that really blushed out kind of milk chocolatey head, that's a standard. You see those kind of heads in basically every Hidden Gene Woma combo. And then Granite is literally marked by, see these dots and this big blotch right here. So Granite kind of appears in slightly different ways. So on this animal, we get that dot right behind the head there, right at the start of the neck stripe. And then we get some extra noise. So it expresses, it's polygenic, I guess, in how it expresses itself. Some animals might just have a couple dots, others might have quite a bit of speckling. And then when you start to marry some of these genes together, you get this. So if we look at this Inferno Fader, look at all the Granite, we get all these little extra dots along the side. And as these guys grow, they change a lot. I got a snake! Woo! Super excited! Just got a new package. I'm super excited about this wonderful. Okay, so when you first get your new animal and you take it out of the bag or the container, it's really important to just kind of do like a general once over. Now, most people are just going to be like, oh, new snake. What I do is I'm, of course, going to look for mites. That's always a big thing. But I'm also just going to look to make sure there's like no bumps or lumps or anything that could potentially be on the snake that I wasn't notified about. And I'm also just going to kind of overall look to make sure the animal's in good health. It's got a good weight and all of that fun stuff. You just want the animal to look overall very healthy. So if you do find anything that you're not super pleased about or something that wasn't already disclosed to you, you have the opportunity right after getting it out of the box to contact the person you got it from and discuss. When you're looking at carpet pythons, typically there's 4 species that are the most common that you're going to be looking at. This happens to be a jungle carpet, but there's also Centralian carpet pythons, coastal carpet pythons, which are actually the largest, and Erie and Jaya carpets, which are kind of on the smaller side. This is a jungle zebra jag, and it is absolutely crazy. Check out that pattern. There's nothing else like this. Pure Darwin albino, and man, check that out.
And boy, do they turn pretty when they get older.
Okay, so whenever you get any species of animal, or a carpet python, you want to soak them after you've done your physical inspection. And this is, again, just to rehydrate the animal. Also, if there does happen to be any mites on the animal, they're going to drown in this water. So usually I'll let them sit for a couple of hours, maybe like a 1/4 inch of water, nothing too deep. But it's also a great time to do any finishing touches you might want to do on the enclosure you're going to put them in. Dialing in the heat, or just making sure you throw that last piece of foliage in there so it looks just perfect. So after your snake has been soaking for a little while, you're gonna go ahead and take it out. And if this is just your pet snake and it's the only snake you've got and you're gonna put it in your enclosure, awesome. If you have multiple snakes, it's really important to quarantine, and it's basically, again, just another step to take to make sure that this animal, new animal, isn't sick and isn't gonna spread to anything else that you might have. So you're gonna take your animal out and you're gonna move it to your enclosure. Now there's a bunch of different enclosures that work really well for carpet pythons. This young jungle carpet would fit really well in like a 3 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot cage. Could also fit really well in an FB90 rack system. All depends upon what you have and what you wanna do. Jungle carpets really appreciate height. They are probably the most arboreal or tree dwelling of all of these semi-arboreal species, the Morelia complex. So now if you were to get something like this, like a big coastal carpet python, this girl's almost 8.5 feet long. You're certainly gonna want something a bit bigger than a 3 by 2 by 2 cage. You're probably gonna want something more like a 4 or 5 foot by 2 by maybe even 3 foot cage. Now, it's important to note, coastal carpets are not necessarily as arboreal as a jungle carpet as an adult, and mostly it's just because they're sheer size. There's not too many thin tree limbs that are going to hold a snake like this up very well. So it's important to keep that in mind. They will utilize whatever space you give them. So when you're putting your animal in the enclosure, obviously temperatures and humidities are super, super important. So how are you going to figure that out? Well, knowing where they come from is certainly a great start. So these guys come from Australia and New Guinea. So it's important to know this video is just a generalized video over all carpet pythons. So certain subspecies like the breadlie or centralians and the Iriangias or West Papuans might like it a little bit different than what I'm saying. So it's important to continue to do your research and just use this as an overall carpet python how-to. So these guys are gonna like it regardless, a hot spot of the 88 to 92 degree area and an ambient temperature of about 80 to 85. They can get down to lower temps and they'll be fine, but those kind of markers are kind of picture perfect for these guys. Humidity, you really don't want to get super, super humid. The Iriangias can handle humidity a little bit better, but you want to be around that, I'd say 20 to 40% depending on the species. And again, doing your own homework is going to help you figure out a lot on these guys. So carpet pythons have a little bit of a nasty rep, especially as babies. They can be kind of nippy. And the big reason for that is these guys are pretty small when they hatch. So they think everything is going to eat them. But once they get older, most of the times they settle right down. So they've got a great disposition. You can see this girl here is absolutely wonderful. And as long as you make no fast movements in front of their face, they're generally pretty great. So as with a lot of other boid species, rodents can make up a huge part of their diet. Sometimes it's really great to throw any kind of avian material in for them as well. So they'll eat chicks, quail, all those kind of things. So you can actually give these guys quite a diverse diet. But of course it's a lot easier to get your hands on mice and rats, and they can do just fine on that. Don't forget that here at Nerd, we have a 10% off discount code at Rodent Pro, which you can certainly get your mice and rats, but you can also get chicks and quail from them too if you want to spice up your diet for your new pet. Overall, carpet pythons are absolutely wonderful animals. They can make great pets. They're super inquisitive, semi-arboreal, so they're going to come out, they're going to climb all around their enclosure. Whether you're going to keep them in a rack or keep them in a cage, they're amazing animals. And I mean, there's really nothing quite like them. So check out carpet pythons, do some research, learn a little bit more about each specific species, but regardless, you're going to have an awesome time with your new pet carpet python.
I gotta turn my camera on, dude.
You didn't turn your camera on!